Welcome to another episode of Mom Knows Ball, the Bama edition. I'm Melinda King, known as some of you as Mom, and I told you I wasn't going to be doing this show by myself the entire time. I've got a great co-host, Nicole, Nikki, Jackson. Welcome to the Mom Knows Ball family.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to do this. I'm not a mom, but I know ball too. So let's talk.
She knows some ball. I'm going to tell you why I know she knows ball. And what I have to tell you is, Nicole, you don't know this, but whenever we bring somebody in as a guest, we never let them leave the family. We're kind of like the mafia. So now you in here, you can't get out. So no, we're going to be reaching out to you after today.
Okay, so going forward, I'm more than a spectator just watching from my phone.
No, you are part of the community. So
I love it.
Just embrace that. So, today I'll just share a little bit about Nicole. Nicole and we have a lot of common bonds. Our favorite college football team is the University of Alabama. Roll Tide, roll Tide, roll Tide. And we are part of the same sorority, like pinkies in the air. I mean, I don't intentionally make sure that my guests are part of the sorority, but it definitely makes it a little bit easier. And I will tell you why I asked Nicole to be a guest on the show. I see her at all the Bama events, at all the sorority events, at all the Alabama events. But she posted on social media one day that, yeah, I'm a girl that likes sports and I know sports, so kind of deal with it. And I'm like, that's what I've been saying all the time. So Nicole, do you have people like coming to you like, yeah, you don't really like sports, you don't really know sports, you're just saying that?
No. Well, anybody who knows me knows that I am 100% ride or die down for sports. So I tell people I was not I've never been married. I don't have any children. And my disposable income goes to sporting events and traveling. As far as Alabama goes, I have season tickets to football, men's basketball, women's basketball, gymnastics, softball, and baseball.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm feeling like a casual fan right now based on all that. But I absolutely love that. And we were talking earlier about how sometimes we're having these conversations and I'm not throwing off on our brothers, but sometimes men are like, oh, you don't really know what you're talking about. And
oh, yes. Sometimes, and I don't know if they are going off past experiences with their girlfriends or their wives, and then they're projecting that on us. But since I'm not married, oftentimes, if I'm not at the event, I'm watching it at a sports bar. I live here in Hoover, and I like to go to B-Dubs and some of the other sports bars around. And something will happen, and then somebody will turn to me and try to explain it. And it takes everything in me to say, well, your take is wrong. What actually happened was the DB missed his assignment, yada, yada, yada. But, sometimes they just can't help it. So I try to, give them some grace and let them know by sprinkling in some of my knowledge in later plays. And most of the time they get it.
They get it then, but it does take some patience, because I've had people explain stuff to me too, and it's like something. I was like, well, yeah, that was a pick play, but okay, you go with what you think happened. Okay, so all right, so here's what we're gonna do today. If there's anything else you want to share about your love of sports, just make sure you sprinkle it in. But we're gonna break down that Bama victory over Mizzou yesterday, and we all know it was a little bit too close, but okay, we got the win. But before we start talking about that game, I know we all sat there the first game of the season when we lost to Florida State, and like for me, I like clutched my pearls and said, oh my, what is happening? And now, I have, my opinion has progressed, because you want to see progress, right? You don't want to see people be in the same place. So, what were you thinking at that time when that was going on versus kind of where you are now about, our Bama, our team, and, what we're used to?
Okay, so it was that was a bad time for me. One of my favorite aunts unfortunately passed away around that time.
Oh
So
no.
even though I had tickets for the game, I couldn't make the trip. So Sora Jennifer and Sora Sharon, the other two A girls
A
who were
girls,
in
A
our
girls.
group,
We have to throw some A girl pictures in.
but so they had to go to the game without me. And so I'm sitting here. So I was watching the game from my house. And girl, I was like, is this Alabama? Is this an Alabama coached team coming out here this unprepared? And then I said to myself, well, there's no way. This first half was dead. We're not looking good. We'll make some halftime adjustments. And then the second half will look like Alabama. Oh my gosh. Not a single adjustment was made.
Yeah.
Not one. We carried on, energyless, lifeless, people missing assignments. That was the first time in a long time I've seen Alabama players give up on the play and not give 100%. There was, that number 18 guy, the linebacker. There was several plays where you could look at him and tell he wasn't running 100%. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Nick Saban would have taken him to the side and he would have had some choice words for him. But,
I know.
I don't know if DeBoer is, his kinder, gentle parenting method, it's so in the subsequent games, I guess it's been effective. But, I would like to think that loafing was strongly addressed by the coaching staff.
I hope so as well. It was a very difficult, and I even said this, I didn't see the energy on the sidelines. Normally if Bama is losing a game, you can look at that sideline and everybody on that sideline is going to let you know, hey, we're not doing this. We got to do something different. But
they're
now
waving a towel or something, trying to pump people up.
But now, okay, it looks like a Bama team. I mean, we have some close games, but everybody brings their A game when they play Bama. I don't care who you are. This is like their Super Bowl. So we know we got
to say that all the time.
Yeah,
yes.
We got to play that game tough. And so now I'm definitely feeling, more comfort. I mean, we got tough schedule, but still, I'm like, okay, I think we got this.
Well, I think we have it, but we are so spoiled due to the 16 or 17 years of having Coach Nicholas Lou Saban Jr.
Oh, you're going with the government name.
I say his whole name. You got to put some respect on his name. That's what Baby said from Louisiana, right? So put some respect on his name, Nicholas Lou Saban Jr. And we as Bama fans were so spoiled because when we had these fantastic former quarterbacks and these great defenses, the game would be over by halftime. And we're sitting in the stands chit-chatting, talking about this, looking at other games on our phone.
It's true.
We got spoiled.
We did. And I think the whole landscape of football has changed. So I think a lot of teams, and again, we were probably more spoiled than most. We just, we never went into a game even with the possibility that we will lose this game. It's it was more like, when will the other team give up? At what point are they going to say, you know what, I think this is a wrap. And now, it is definitely different. Definitely different. So
let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So back during all those long runs, because, we went at least one season without losing. Mm-hmm. And when you finally lose a game after winning 15 in a row, it breaks your heart. Yeah. And then all of the losers come out of the woodworks.
What am I doing now? What am I supposed to do now? We've lost the game. What is
That's right. And people you have not heard from in years, they're calling, texting, tagging you on Facebook. Get away from me.
I don't play that, Nicole. Let me tell you. If you have not talked to me when Bama has been winning games, if you reach out to me when we lost, it's gonna be a misunderstanding, and I'm not proud of it. And I hope I've grown, and and hopefully, and now I won't. But it's kind of a miserable day for you, and so I totally, yeah, I totally get that. So, okay, let me tell everybody. So I told Nicole, like we do with all guests, send me a couple photos, maybe from a couple games, and we'll make sure that when we're talking about the episode, we'll show these. This sister sends me a picture of her and our favorite quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Check it out. Look at, yeah, that's who it is. It's her. It's Jalen Hurts. And I was like, I think she's kind of low key, telling me I'm flexing on you. Yeah, look who I got. So
Way back.
yeah, yeah.
The picture that I share.
Oh, yes. So, okay. So, Nicole, you share with us exactly what you want to share about your relationship with the Hurts family. So, whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah. And so, it's a delicate thing with him being such a superstar. Now, well, he was a superstar at Bama, so don't get me wrong. But we got a chance to get to know his mom, his dad, his sister, his brother, some of the extended family members. And along with that comes a trust. We got to know them on a personal level outside of sports. And so I've treasured that relationship. We've kept in touch since then. When the Philadelphia Eagles come and play the Falcons, we've met up before, not with Jalen because he's busy.
Yes.
But with Pam, his mom.
Yeah.
We met up with her and with his agent, who happens to have the same name as me, Nicole. She's really, really good people.
Yes.
But Jalen,
I knew that, it's a delicate balance, but I figured like once you sent me the picture, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put it out there. So yeah.
And so Jalen, I will say this. What you see in his interviews and on television, that's him. That's exactly how he is on a one-on-one basis. I don't know if he knew what he was getting into. So at one point, like when he was injured at Bama, we were at a person's house, and Jalen was on the phone talking to one of his friends. And so all of us crazy people went over, and because he was FaceTiming, and we got behind him, and the friends saw all of us, and he said, "Oh, that's just my mom's crazy friends." He just took it in stride and laughed us off.
I tell this story, and I met Jalen's mom as well through the tailgating, and I told her this story. So I think I've shared with most people that I worked at Alabama when Jalen was a student at Alabama. And so one day I was walking from Memorial Coliseum, that's where the basketball team plays, and I had these boxes of stuff. And this car zooms by, and there was a guy who was on the football team at the time who I knew very well, and he honked the horn. And I'm carrying these boxes, and I remember going, did that dude just honk his horn while I'm carrying these boxes and not stop to ask me? And I just kept walking. Then the car comes back around, and the guy, who's a great guy, just he wasn't thinking. He goes, I'm so sorry. I should have stopped. And I said, yeah, because I was gonna really reach out to you. And he said, I'm gonna have to be honest with you. It wasn't my idea. It was QB1 over here. He's the one who told me to stop. And it was Jalen sitting over there smiling, who did not know me. And I was like, from that moment on, I was just like, this kid didn't even know me, but he knew you don't honk at a woman, a middle age. I'm claiming middle age, assuming
that's right.
Be,
but that's him.
Years old.
That's him, and that's due to his grandparents and his mom and his dad. His brother is like that too.
Yes.
They're very chivalrous young men. Yes. But I got one more Jalen story, and your listeners may not know this, but Jalen is an old soul.
I can see that.
And he absolutely loves Frankie Beverly and Maze. So, when he was, when you're a rookie and you have they make him sing at one of the first team meetings,
Okay,
and
okay.
he actually did a Frankie Beverly and Maze song.
You make me happy. Yes, you can dance.
To go on to YouTube and find that clip.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do that. We can totally do that. So I appreciate you for sharing that. And again, and he is definitely QB1 for me forever and ever and ever. Now I know, Nicole, your NFL team is the Atlanta Falcons, right? Okay,
Yes.
you're doing a heavy sigh.
Sigh. Let me tell you something, Melinda. Every year, when it's time to make that big old payment for those Atlanta Falcons season tickets, I'm thinking, am I going to do this again? Because I mean, there's been seasons where I went the entire season without seeing a win at home.
Oh wow.
I
Wow.
mean, and so I'm trying not to give up hope. And back in the days when Julio was
Yes.
WR1, we're doing really well. Went to the Super Bowl. We didn't win, but we're thinking, oh, we're on the up and up. We're about to do this. My gosh. Just kept sliding down and down and down and down to where this year, and I love Bryce. I love all of our Alabama former quarterbacks. But the Carolina Panthers, even though they beat the Cowboys today.
They did beat the Cowboys today, yes.
Yes, but they haven't been doing very well, right?
Yeah.
And so when it came time for Atlanta to play them this year, I'm like, well, I know
Yeah, at
it's
least
Bryce,
you get a win, right? You were thinking
but
that.
at least we'll get a win. Girl, we did not score a single point on one of the worst teams in the NFL.
So Michael Penix, he's still like QB1, right?
He is, and he's kind of cyclical in his performance, and I guess the defense can sometimes let the team down a little bit, but I'm hoping that there's things happening behind the scenes, and towards this middle of the season we can get it together and start getting us a couple of wins.
Okay, I'm gonna be watching that. Okay, let's talk about Bama. Okay, so
Okay.
Bama final score yesterday, 24-27. Like I said before, way too close for me. I am sitting there like, are we gonna really go down to the last play of the game? And of course we did. But again, we got the win. I'm gonna talk a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about offense, defense, special. Who gets a gold star and who we're gonna get a side eye to. Okay, let me look at my stats here. Okay, so here's what I'll say about offense. We were starting to establish the run. We had Jam Miller back. I think he rushed for 85 yards, and we know he went out early, and we've since found out that he's in concussion protocol. I will say that last scoring drive, it was savage. I'm like, we're going for it on 4th and 8. We're going for it on 4th and goal. And I think that now Caden Proctor, he's been a running back. He's been a wide receiver. I think he took a snap from center. So now he's a QB. So I just don't know what he's going to do. What is he going to do in that Tennessee game? I am just waiting to hear. So
What I'm hoping he does in that Tennessee game is score a touchdown, because that is what he hasn't done yet.
That's what we need. That's what we need. So any thoughts you have on the offense, just based on kind of what we saw and, maybe what we didn't see in some instances?
Okay, yes, I do. I have a few thoughts. So early in the game, when we started out, and we're hitting a few passes, and I noticed that with Jam, the type of runner he is, I don't care if it's a half a yard or if it's 10 yards, he's going to go forward. That's what he's going to do. He's going to make his momentum is going to carry him forward. And I think that'll only continue to benefit us.
Yes.
But I got to say this. I was one of those, what they say with Lank.
Yeah.
I was a naysayer on Ty. So
Okay. Okay.
I didn't think he had the chops or the arm really to be a QB1 to kind of lead us into the promised land, but I'm slowly getting on the bandwagon. He showed us something on that 4th and 8
He
play.
did.
He was not scared. He stood in that pocket and threw an absolute dime for that first down.
Yes. Yeah.
Threw a dime.
Yes.
And so I was at a bar and I jumped up. I was screaming, but everybody was, because I honestly, I didn't know what was going to happen in that moment. And also the play calling was like, okay, I'm putting it on you. It's on you, dog. You got to make this play. And I won't say what kind of play I said it was, but it required some strong male reproductive organs.
And we'll talk about my start of the game, but the play calling, I'm like, okay, and I'm not, I'm not throwing off on anybody else, but it takes me back to when Lane was doing the play calling. It takes me back.
Okay, let's not get too crazy. This dude is not Lane.
People have problems with Lane. Now, yes,
I love him.
in, but I thought he was like an offensive.
He was an offensive genius.
Yes.
And so our offensive plays right now are good, but I don't know if they're Lane good.
I see what you're saying. Okay, I thought you were saying, yeah.
Because did you notice that several times back when Lane was a coach, he always wore that white jacket. He would throw his hands up for a touchdown as soon as the ball was snapped. He would put it up.
Yeah, he
had that vision.
He did, and the fact that he took Blake Sims, who for most people's vision was a 5th-year running back, and really one play short of us being in a natty.
One play.
That interception in the end zone against Ohio State. So so let's talk about our defense. Job number 1, I said this, was they had to contain Ahmad Hardy. He was the nation leading rusher going into the game yesterday, and let's see what he got. He only got 52 yards yesterday. In fact, their quarterback got more yards than him. So, that was job number 1. And mission accomplished.
Yes. I mean, when you think back to yesteryear, when we had Reuben Foster and people like that, those defensive guys would be on like Leonard Fournette or somebody like that and just put the cuffs on them. Like, you're not going to come in here and run up and down this field on us. I think Leonard did get us one game, though, because he was just that good.
But you know what? With Leonard, I don't know if you remember, he was the Heisman front runner until he played Alabama when it flipped to Derrick Henry. So, yeah.
That's right. But I think that the game plan before the game started was to target this running back to make sure that he did not embarrass us, and it 100% worked.
Yeah, it absolutely did. And so when I think of the start of the game, we've talked about this. I am going to our offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb, because those last 2 fourth down plays, 4th and 8, 4th and goal, they were just kind of magical. I use that word a lot, but I was like, 4th and 8, are you serious? We're going for it. And it made so much sense. And once the play started to develop, it's like, oh yeah, we got this. So that's my star. Who are you giving a gold star to, Nikki?
And for me, I'm going to go back to QB1. I'm giving my star to Ty, because that's a team right there. The offensive coordinator and the QB, they've got to be in sync and on the same page. And in this game, they definitely were, because Grubb called the play, but Ty had to execute it. And the rest of the offense had to execute it. And let me tell you something. And my semi-star or whatever can go to the offensive line, because for the most part, they gave Ty time. Now, that number 75 missed a couple of blocks
Yeah,
where people just came untouched. But
yeah.
for the most part, the offensive line performed very well, I thought, on Saturday.
And especially given Mizzou's pass rush, it's
That's
pretty
right.
tight. So that they
That's
were
right.
able to give him time. That's
Yeah.
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
think there's a couple of people on that Mizzou defense, and I don't know them well enough to call their names, but I think they may have a couple of people who get drafted.
Oh yeah, I absolutely. I was definitely. I had done some research on them, and then I watched them, and I'm like, okay, they are legit, you know. And again, I think when Mizzou came into the SEC, because remember they weren't this last group, but when
Yep.
they came
Yep.
in,
They got added on. They were an
they came in
add-on.
with Texas A&M, and I
Mm-hmm.
think at the time we were thinking, okay, Mizzou is going to make a run for it before Texas A&M, and I think in most instances Texas A&M has been a little bit more successful, but now Mizzou is like kind of like, okay, now we're in this, and
Yeah.
we
So, did they make it to the SEC
they
championship?
did make it to the SEC championship
Once, I
one
think.
year, and
Mhm.
and we did our thing. We did what Bama
Yes.
does,
Yes.
but yes, they did make it there. Okay, all right.
Mhm.
So all right, and look, everybody knows I am Bama, 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 but I sometimes have to give a side eye, and it's only for learning purposes. Um, so one of my side eyes is, we got to work on that kicking game. The thing is, let's not put our kicker in a situation that you don't laugh, because we went through a long period
I
where
mean, we went
we went through
decades.
a period where it was like, oh Lord, please let, and then
We used to Tebow. We would sit
yeah,
up in the stands and do the Tebow
yeah,
prayer.
yeah, and then
Lord,
we
let this
had
kick go through.
what's his name, Will, and he was, he was money, and so now
Money.
we're kind of like, let's, so my side eye is, let's just, let's not put our kicker in the situation that is beyond what he's able to do at this point. That's kind of my side eye. What
Okay.
about you?
All right, so hopefully this won't cause you too many negative comments.
Okay, here we go.
But my side eye is the deuce. It's Ryan Williams. I'm like, what is going on? He had one target and 0 yards, and my mind starts to go places like, well, is this because he's not performing well in practice? Or is he hurt? I don't know what the rationale could be from getting all of these lofty comparisons to wide receivers from the past to our superstar on offense not touching the ball a single time in a game against an undefeated opponent.
It's interesting because, I had read, obviously there's all kinds of stuff on the internet that says, and there I had read an article that said that he wasn't, that he was slightly injured, that, he might even be out for the game. And again, I couldn't
I saw
find
that.
it. I could only see it a couple times. So I'm wondering if he wasn't 100% and he
Maybe.
was kind of more of a decoy. Because sometimes when you have a guy with that talent,
Yeah.
everybody is like, oh, I got to cover him. But he's like, okay, I know I'm not able to do anything today. So I'm hoping that's what it was. It was like, he wasn't 100%, and he could be a good decoy for us.
But we will need him against Tennessee.
Yes. And then here we go again. 4th week in a row, we're playing a ranked team. I mean, I know it's the SEC, but couldn't we play a team that's not ranked every now and then?
Not ranked and not undefeated?
Yeah, I know. We had 3 in a row undefeated. Yeah. It's so yeah, we're gonna need it because their head coach, I was talking to a friend yesterday and they were like, yeah, he's probably down in a bunker right now drawing up this game plan for Alabama. He's probably like, don't nobody talk to me.
That's right.
I'm getting it together.
It's one of the greatest rivalries I've ever been involved in. It's a really unique game in a really unique setting, and I'm looking forward to going down there and competing with this group when we get to that point in the season.
Everybody plays us hard, and Tennessee.
Everybody does play us hard, but they play us extra hard. And as a matter of fact, once we finish this podcast, I'm hoping for a Bama victory. I need to go in there to my humidor to make sure I have my my cigar picked out. Because if
Yeah.
you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So
So
I'll
you
have
so
it there
you
ready
have
to go.
yes. I am not even a smoker, but Tennessee game, I get my cigar, I'm ready. I remember going when I was living in Hoover. I went into a store to, on game day, and they were like, "Oh, so you're a cigar?" I was like, "No." I said, "Alabama's playing Tennessee." Duh. And they were like, "Oh, okay. Don't say anything else." So yeah, so we definitely got that going. And so I always ask my guests if there's anything that they're working on or they want to talk about and they want to use, this platform as small as it is, but it's growing to talk about. I always want to give them an opportunity. Anything special going on in your life, in your world that you want to share?
Say special, but there's things that just been on my heart here lately, Melinda, because it just seems like every day there's a fresh hell we have to deal with on the national political stage. It's just one thing after the other, and if you look at it too long, it beats your spirit down, and that's the purpose of it. It's like saving up something every day just to make sure people get beat down, and then maybe they won't fight back. And I just want to encourage all of us
Keep
that
up.
whatever little bit of change we can do in our world, make a donation to a political campaign, hand out some flyers, go to a city council meeting, just whatever you can do to keep yourself informed and just let everybody know we are not going to just lay down and let our civil liberties be taken away.
I totally appreciate that. And I think we talk about this all the time, like there are things we want to change in the world. And Gandhi said it best: be the change you want to see. Don't like sit around and wait on somebody else. You got to be that change. So I totally appreciate that. So we mentioned before, we got Tennessee next week, and they're gonna play us tough, but you know what? We are Alabama and nobody else is. So, there's that. So anyway.
That's right. And
So,
and I feel like we will be ready. And I know without a doubt we will see the black hoodie from Coach DeBoer.
we ain't talked about the black hoodie. So that is like the most important keys to victory. Coach better not even think about taking out that black.
I
If he
mean,
show up without that black hoodie, people gonna be like in the stands, like,
yes,
I got a
yes.
black hoodie. You need me to-"
Somebody will run down to the gate. Here, take mine.
and Nicole and I were talking about the black hoodie yesterday, and she has sent me a link so that I can purchase my own black hoodie because her and what is the A girls? Y'all call yourself the A girls.
Girls, yes,
A girls
yes,
are
yes.
all they also it's a group of diehard Bama fans who show up at all the games, and they are always dressed alike. They have an incredible tailgate. One day we're gonna do a episode
You
of
should
Mom
do
Knows
that.
Ball. My son even said that. He was like, "Mom, we need to go and do an episode from the tailgate." And so
Yes.
it's the Oklahoma, it's the OU game that y'all wearing the black hoodie.
Yes. Yeah, for the Oklahoma game, we're wearing the black hoodies.
Okay, and I'm gonna get one too because you sent me the link and it's a really good discount. So
Yes.
if I can get Jordan to put the link into the episode, we
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
would be cool. That would be
Yeah.
cool. Okay, Nicole, you've been a good. You know what? You know ball. I
I
know,
do.
but you really know ball. So
Yeah, so maybe you can have me back during basketball season.
we'll certainly have you back. And Jordan is probably a bigger basketball fan than I am. So, he's lurking in the background. He's there. He acting like he ain't there because he's so busy and everything. But anyway, here is another end to an incredible episode of Mom Knows Ball, the Bama edition. You all know we do a second edition talking about our NFL team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Unfortunately, we lost today, but we'll break down that game as well. Subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell everybody. And so, Nicole, I have to ask you, do you know ball, my girl?
Soror, you know that I know ball.
I know
So
you know. I know you know ball, and I'm glad to know that you know ball.
Yep, so once we finish here, I'll get to watch the evening games.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Me too. So,
Oh,
okay.
and the Atlanta Falcons have Monday Night Football tomorrow night, so I'll be in Atlanta.
Oh, so who they
playing Buffalo.
Oh,
so chances are.
Look, my Jacksonville Jaguars, against all odds, beat Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Yeah. So you just never know. So
well, y'all got sunshine, so
you talking about Trevor.
I hated him at Clemson, but he's a great quarterback.
We are really trying to be patient with Trevor, and he has the high points, and like anybody else, he has moments where you go, come on, Trevor, what were you thinking? But anyway, so I'm Mom, I know ball. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell your friends. See you later. Bye.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll Tide, roll Tide.